It is an exciting time, of course, on Ghana television. This is Citi TV, and this is Best Brain. This is a competition open to junior high schools from across the country, where we get to find out which schools and which students have been busy studying and which ones have been busy climbing up the trees in the school and tearing down the fruits. It's an exciting time because we have some incredible schools who are going to be passing through. Now, we have 12 competing schools in the preliminary rounds, after which we're going to have 6 of them moving on to the second round. Then 3 of them will move to the group stage, where we're going to pose a project to them. After that, 2 schools will make it to the grand finale, and then we get to find out which particular school and which particular students deserve the title of champions of Best Brain. My name is Philippa Sean, and I am your quiz master. You can join us with the hashtag BestBrain and let us know which of these schools you support. And of course, if it is your alma mater, which of them you think you wish you could have done much better than. It's going to be an exciting contest, and I hope you're ready. Welcome to Best Brain. This is where knowledge lives. Times indeed, exciting times indeed on the show. It's now time for us to get the ball rolling. It's time for us to meet the 2 competing schools for today's contest. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're ready, let's meet the schools.
Hi, my name is Amowuswa Frepong. I'm 14 years of age and I attend Silicon Valley International School. I like to read storybooks because I find interest in that. I'm here to prove that Silicon Valley is the best, so watch out for us because we have the best brain.
My name is Elvis Baye. I'm 14 years of age and I attend Corpus Christi School. My hobbies are reading and watching TV. I'm here to make Corpus Christi proud.
Hello Ghana, my name is Dominic Fatunade. I'm 12 years of age. My hobbies are cycling and drawing. I school at Silicon Valley, and as you already know, it's the best school in Ghana, so watch out.
Hi, I'm Chanel. I'm 13 years old and I'm in Corpus Christi. I like reading and writing, and I'm here to make my school proud.
Hi everyone, my name is Nane Kuyanan. I'm 13 years old from Silicon Valley International School. I like to solve math for fun, and I'm here to prove that Silicon Valley is the best of the best, so watch out.
Hey, I'm Queen Nicole Lamte from Corpus Christi School. I'm 13 years of age and I love dancing and reading for fun. I'm here to prove that CCS is one of a kind, and I know by God's grace to do exceptionally well.
So we have met the schools. It's now time for us to meet the students who are going to be doing the competing today. Ladies and gentlemen, first of all, let's meet the students from Silicon Valley International School. And now, the students from Corpus Christi School. You can indeed get interactive and support your alma mater or support whichever is your favorite school on the show today. It's going to be a great competition, and I'm more than happy to be your quizmaster for today. Join us with the hashtag BestBrain and share your thoughts as well on the show. Now, a few housekeeping rules. Students, once the competition begins, I'll request that you keep your microphones on all throughout the competition until and unless I ask you to switch it off for one reason or the other. Now, let me introduce you to round 1. In this round, we're going to focus on science, ICT, and math. You have 30 seconds for each major question and 45 seconds for riddles, plus 10 seconds for true or false questions. This will attract 3 points for a correct answer, and then you have 10 seconds for a bonus question, for which you get 1 point. True or false questions shall not be passed on for obvious reasons. Okay, are you ready for round 1? Corpus Christi, are you ready?
Yes. Yes.
Silicon Valley, are you ready?
Yes. Yes.
Well, you sound ready. So, viewers, if you're ready, let's get into round 1. Everything seems ready and set to go, and we're going to start off today's contest with Silicon Valley. Silicon Valley. Which of the following substances is a compound? A, hydrogen. B, nitrogen. C, oxygen. And D, water.
Water.
Water is indeed the correct answer. Your question. A disease-causing organism that is most difficult to control in crop production is A, bacterium, B, fungus, C, nematode, and D, virus.
Nematode.
That's your final answer.
Yes, please. Yes, please.
Unfortunately, that is incorrect. Bonus points for Silicon Valley.
Bacteria.
Bacterium is indeed the correct answer. Your substantive question, Silicon Valley. Which of the following organisms is or are multicellular? A, amoeba. B, paramecium. C, onion.
Onion.
I will take the question again. Which of the following organisms is or are multicellular? I, amoeba. I, paramecium. I, onion. Now, the answers are as follows. A, I only. B, I only. C, I and I only. And D, I and I only.
I only.
I only is indeed the correct answer. Corpus Christi. In electronic circuits, LEDs are used to indicate the absence or presence of A, emitter and collector, B, electric current, C, PN junction, and D, voltage source.
Electric current.
Electric current is indeed the correct answer. Silicon Valley. Steel is an alloy of iron and A, aluminium, B, carbon, C, silicon, and D, gold.
Carbon.
Carbon is indeed correct. Corpus Christi. Soil aeration or aeration could be improved through A, mulching, B, irrigation, C, soil drainage, and D, fertilizer application.
Can I have the question again?
Soil aeration could be improved through A, mulching, B, irrigation, C, soil drainage, and D, fertilizer application.
Drainage.
Well, time is up, but drainage is not the correct answer. Silicon Valley, would you like to try that for a bonus?
Mulching.
Mulching is unfortunately not the correct answer. It is fertilizer application. It's fertilizer application. Soil aeration could be improved through fertilizer application. Silicon Valley. Which of the following pairs of structures are part of the respiratory system of humans? A, fallopian tube and alveoli. B, pharynx and esophagus. C, trachea and alveoli. And D, trachea and duodenum.
C.
C is indeed the correct answer. Corpus Christi. Which of the following effects is not a result of illegal connection of electricity? It can A, lead to fire outbreak. B, lead to frequent power cuts. C, increase the flow of current in the supply chain. And D, cause damage to electrical appliances.
C.
C is indeed the correct answer. Silicon Valley. Which of the following statements about the scientific method is or are correct? It provides, and these are the options. I, logical procedure for arriving at knowledge. I, knowledge that can be verified. I, knowledge that can never be changed. So the options are A, I only. B, I and I only. C, I and I only. And D, I and I only.
I and I.
I and I is indeed correct. Corpus Christi. An entrepreneur's decision as to what to produce is an A, coordinating function. B, organizing function. C, planning function. And D, supervising function.
Question again, please.
An entrepreneur's decision as to what to produce is an A, coordinating function. B, organizing function. C, planning function. And D, supervising function.
C.
C is indeed correct. We move on to some ICT questions now. Silicon Valley. Which of the following computer keyboard keys is used to type uppercase letters when the caps lock light is off? A, control key. B, enter key. C, insert key. And D, shift key.
Shift key.
Shift key it is. Looks like Dominic was in the mood to dominate that little question there. Let's move on to Corpus Christi. Which of the following devices are used to feed a computer system with data? A, keyboard and monitor. B, keyboard and mouse. C, mouse and monitor. And D, mouse and printer.
B. Keyboard and mouse.
That's correct. Silicon Valley. A computer accepts data input, processes the data, and produces what? A, byte. B, data. C, output. And D, storage.
Output.
That's your final answer?
Yes.
Okay, it's correct. Corpus Christi. The component of the computer that houses the motherboard and the power supply unit is called A, central processing unit. B, monitor. C, printer. And D, system unit.
D. System units.
That's correct. Silicon Valley. Which component of the computer resembles the typewriter? A, keyboard. B, monitor. C, mouse. And D, webcam.
Keyboard.
Keyboard it is. Corpus Christi. The optical storage media among the following is, and we have A, compact disc. B, floppy disk. C, hard disk. And D, magnetic disk.
A.
A it is, correct. Well, these schools don't seem to be letting down very easily on these questions. They seem to be just ticking them off their papers. We'll be getting to some more questions, but you can join us with the hashtag BestBrain if you have the answers to some of these questions as well. Consulting, I see. Very well. This is your question, though, Silicon Valley. Which of the following media stores data temporarily? A, floppy disk. B, hard disk. C, random access memory. And D, read-only memory.
Random access memory.
That is correct. Corpus Christi. Which of the following devices must be turned on first when booting the computer? A, central processing unit. B, monitor. C, printer. And D, system unit.
D. System units.
That is correct. Silicon Valley. The part of the central processing unit responsible for performing all logical operations is known as A. ALU, B. CU, C. RAM, and D. ROM.
ALU.
ALU it is. Corpus Christi. When files and folders are deleted from the computer, they go into what? A. Briefcase. C. Desktop. C. Delete bin. And D. Recycle bin.
Recycle bin.
Recycle bin it is. And now the students will be answering some math questions. I hope you're ready. 2 true or false questions, 2 riddles, and 6 calculative questions coming up right about now. My preference in school was for technical drawing. Mathematics was not necessarily my favorite, and that is why I have a smile on my face when I'm bringing these students the math questions. I hope you're ready for this one. To all schools, consider the following statements carefully and determine whether the statement is true or false. Silicon Valley. If A is less than B, then AC is less than BC. If and only if C is positive.
False.
Unfortunately, that answer is true. Corpus Christi. If A is greater than B, then AC is greater than BC if only C is negative. Unfortunately, time is up. Would you like to try that for a bonus, Silicon Valley?
True.
Unfortunately, that is false. I'm sorry. Well, to your substantive question, consider the following clues aimed at solving a riddle. Examine the clues carefully and solve the riddles that follow. A, or number 1. I am a 3-dimensional solid figure with 6 quadrilateral faces. My faces are rectangles, but may not be a square. Actually, the cube is considered as part of my family, but definitely not the same as me. I have 3 diagonals with the minor ones on my faces, but the major ones inside me. You still can't find me, I'm guessing, but my volume is length times breadth times height. And my major diagonal is the square root of the sum of squares of my sides. Who am I?
Cuboid.
You are so correct. And now to the final answer or question for this round, Corpus Christi. I am a unitless quantity that is associated with lines. I am a unitless quantity that is associated with lines, curves, and other geometrical shapes. I am a ratio quantity that determines how steep or gentle a curve or a line slopes. I represent the ratio of vertical change and the corresponding horizontal change. I could be positive, negative, 0, or even undefined in certain cases. You still don't know who I am? Well, I'm popularly known as change in Y over change in X. Who am I?
Gradient.
You are so correct. Well, viewers at home, I'm not sure how many of you were able to figure that one out. I will tell you the truth, I had no idea what the answer was. I'm just glad I'm the quizmaster and not these students sitting here with me. This is Best Brain on Citi TV. It's such a pleasure to come your way because I'm in the presence of some of the best geniuses in town. But in a few minutes, we'll get to find out which school will be hitting the very top of the echelons of brain work and which school will be struggling to figure out where the stairs are exactly. This is Best Brain on Citi TV, where knowledge lives. A very interesting round of competition there in round one. Very, very nice answers. I didn't expect some of those answers coming through, but I'm very, very impressed regardless, because I wouldn't have done this well in round one. Well, it's now time for us to figure out who performed what in round one. Ladies and gentlemen, let's find out how well Corpus Christi and Silicon Valley did in round one. Corpus Christi came through with 27 points at the end of round one. And Silicon Valley came through with 34 points at the end of round one. Very stiff competition there, just a few points difference, but I'm guessing that these students will be ready for round two to make amends. And so we enter round two, where we focus on social studies, English, and religious and moral education. This round requires students to answer within 10 seconds for 3 points and 2 seconds for a bonus question. However, a correct bonus point or answer attracts 1 point, but then the point is deducted for a wrong bonus answer. It is up to you to take the risk. All the very best to you in this round. We start off with Corpus Christi. One major environmental problem facing municipal and metropolitan assemblies in Ghana is A, air pollution, B, deforestation, C, road accidents, and D, waste management.
C. Road accident.
That's your final answer?
Yes, please.
That is incorrect. Silicon Valley, would you like to try that?
D.
D it is, waste management. And the key clue there, the key clue there was municipal and metropolitan assemblies. Silicon Valley. Which of the following factors is important or is most important for national development? A, capital resource. B, foreign aid. C, human resource. And D, natural resource.
C.
C it is. Corpus Christi. A good layout and enforcement of town planning laws can help reduce A, emergence of slums, B, influx of immigration, C, population growth, and D, substance abuse. A good layout of enforcement of town planning laws can help reduce.
A.
A it is, emergence of slums. Silicon Valley. The efficiency of labor can be increased if 1, A, reports to work early, B, uses appropriate technology, C, works for longer hours, and D, works independently.
B.
B it is, uses appropriate technology. Corpus Christi. Which of the following conditions was the main aim of all the political parties before independence? A, economic development. B, federal government. C, local government. And D, self-government.
D.
D it is. Self-government is correct. Silicon Valley. The Asante became a British colony through A, agreement, B, appeal, C, defeat, and D, persuasion.
C.
C it is. Corpus Christi. For Ghana to be economically independent, she must A, educate her citizens well. B, compete with her neighbors. C, produce her basic needs. And D, rely on her colonial masters for help.
C.
C, produce her basic needs is correct. Silicon Valley. Productivity measures A, production of goods, B, production of services, C, profit made out of production, and D, output per man hour.
Output per man hour.
Output per man hour is correct. Corpus Christi. Private businesses can contribute to the development of the nation by A, making more profits, B, motivating the workers, C, paying taxes as required, and D, registering their businesses.
C.
C, paying their taxes as required. That's correct. Silicon Valley. The main aim of the National Road Safety Commission in Ghana is to protect A, capital resources, B, human resources, C, mineral resources, and D, natural resources.
Human resource.
Human resources it is. So we are getting into the realms of English language now, and we are going to start off with Corpus Christi. Corpus Christi, what is a transitive verb? What is a transitive verb? And what is the characteristic of a transitive verb, for that matter?
A transitive verb has a direct object following it.
I will take that. It takes an object, yes. I will take that as a correct answer. Silicon Valley. What is the principle governing question tags? What is the principle governing question tags?
The following verb must contract with the verb in the sentence.
That's your final answer.
Yes.
Well, time is up, unfortunately. Corpus Christi, would you like to try that?
A positive question has a negative answer, and a negative question has a positive answer.
That is correct. Your substantive question. What is the use of interrogative pronouns? Or what are the uses of interrogative pronouns?
They are used to
Time
ask,
is up, unfortunately. Would you like to try that, Silicon Valley?
They are used to ask questions.
They are used to ask questions indeed. Well, it's your substantive question. Now, give an example of a demonstrative adjective. Give an example of a demonstrative adjective.
This.
Thank you. That's correct. Corpus Christi. State the rule governing the third person singular in Concord. State the rule governing the third person singular in Concord. Time is up. Silicon Valley.
It must be followed by a singular verb.
That's your final answer.
Yes.
Fortunately, the third person takes S. The third person takes S. Example, Kofi walks down the road. Your substantive question there, Silicon Valley. What is the use of a conjunction? What is the use of a conjunction?
to link two sentences.
To link two sentences is indeed correct. And in this case, you have and but yet to link the sentences. Very good. Corpus Christi. The time and place of a play is called?
Setting.
Setting is correct. Silicon Valley. States the main divisions of a play. State the main divisions of a play.
Drama,
Prose. Introduction, rising action, climax, fallen action, and resolution.
That's a lot, but that's not correct, unfortunately. Would you like to try that, Corpus Christi? State the main divisions of a play. Unfortunately, time is up, and the correct answer is acts and scenes. Acts and scenes. Well, Corpus Christi, when a novelist writes a story of his own life, such story is called
Autobiography.
Autobiography is correct. And at this moment, I would like to urge the studio audience to please keep silent. If you're at home, however, and you have the correct answer, please feel free and send us a message using the hashtag BestBrain. We're not sure if these students have the phones to check it, but we'll still appreciate the message all the same. Silicon Valley. A poem of 14 lines is known as?
Sorry.
A poem of 14 lines.
Sonnet.
A sonnet, actually, is the correct answer, but I'll take that. Moving on to religious and moral education questions. 5 questions per school. Going around the Kaaba is an Islamic religious activity done during A, Eid al-Adha, B, Eid al-Fitr, C, Hajj, and D, Ramadan.
Hajj.
Hajj is indeed correct. Silicon Valley. Which Islamic prayer is observed at sunset? A, Janaza, B, Taraweeh, C, Isha, and D, Maghrib.
Maghrib.
Maghrib is correct. Corpus Christi. Traditionalists pray by means of A, music and dance, B, spirit possession, C, pouring libation, and D, divination.
Pouring libation.
Pouring libation is correct. Silicon Valley. In African traditional religion, the living dead are referred to as A, bad spirits, B, witch doctors, C, ancestors, and D, mediums.
Ancestors.
Ancestors it is. One of the reasons for which God created the sea is to A, generate hydroelectric power, B, reduce soil erosion, C, beautify the environment, and D, provide a habitat for some animals. Corpus Christi.
Provide a habitat for some animals.
Yes, indeed, that's correct. Silicon Valley. The most important rite in Christian sacramental worship is A, taking the Holy Communion, B, reading the Old Testament, C, reading the New Testament, and D, collecting of offertory and tithe.
Taking the Holy Communion.
Taking Holy Communion is correct. Corpus Christi. God is called Nyame among the Akans because he is A, the creator, B, dependable, C, ever-living, and D, supreme being.
Creator.
That unfortunately is incorrect. And will Silicon Valley like to try that? Yes?
Supreme being.
Unfortunately, that is not correct. The correct answer is ever-living. Oyo Nyame. Eja Aho is fondly remembered by the Fanti for A, his miraculous powers, B, commanding the golden stool, C, his resurrection from death, and D, saving his people.
Saving his people.
Saving his people is correct. As a Fanti, my mother would be very upset with me because I had no idea who Eja Aho was. Thankfully, the students knew. Moving on, Corpus Christi. Eid al-Adha is celebrated by Muslims to A, mark Abraham's sacrifice to Allah, B, remember the death of Muhammad, C. Mark the end of Ramadan, and D. Remember the birth of Muhammad.
A.
C.
C,
My
sorry.
final answer is C.
Your final answer is C. That is unfortunately incorrect.
A.
A it is. And to your substantive question, Silicon Valley, which of the following is considered when choosing a name for a newborn child? A, the weight of the child. B, tribe of the parents. C, age of the mother. And D, the baby's place of birth.
Tribe of the parents.
Tribe of the parents it is. As you can hear from the applause in the studio, this has been a worthwhile round. Lots of surprises, some good answers, unfortunately some missed opportunities. But when we return, we shall find out which students will be gunning for the top spot and which students would like to say goodbye to the competition. This is Best Brain on Citi TV, and this is where knowledge lives. It's a good time to be alive and to be in the presence of geniuses. That is what this show is helping to uncover. Geniuses in our junior high schools across the country. It's now time to find out who performed what in round 2. Ladies and gentlemen, at the end of round 2, Corpus Christi came through with 31 points. And Silicon Valley is marching ahead with 40 points. This means at the end of round 1 and round 2, Corpus Christi came through with 58 points, and Silicon Valley is holding on to 74 points. Wow, wow, wow. So at the end of round 1 and round 2, Corpus Christi has 58 points and Silicon Valley has 74. But the next round of the contest has often proven to be very slippery and dangerous for most teams. Is that going to be the same situation for today? We'll be finding out in just a few minutes. Is that round where we find out which of these two schools has the brainiest answer for the brainiest question or the brainy question for the day. It's going to be interesting, but when we come back, we'll find out what that question and that task will be for today and which of these two schools will have the brainiest answer for you. This is Best Brain on Citi TV, where knowledge lives. You are welcome to round 3. This is the round where I'm flanked by 2 boards and some very brilliant students. This is a round where we get to find out which of these students has the brainiest answer for the brainiest task of the day. In a few minutes, I'm going to call a representative from these schools to come and pick up their task, and then I'll let you know what the task for the day will be. So, Silicon Valley, who would you nominate to pick up your task for the day? Okay. A very special task for you indeed. I hope you're ready. So this is your task for the day. Who will be representing Corpus Christi? Okay. This is your task for the day. So the whole team will work on the task, and so you may open your envelopes now. Okay, so let's read it together then. I will read and you can read silently. Preamble. Use the following preamble as a premise to answer the questions which follow it. Amma has always loved to run. She's a real horse in any race in which she competes. Next week, Amma will be running the longest athletic relay of her quarter of a 5-decade-long career. The race has been dubbed the Relay XL, and it is 10 kilometers long. In preparation for the big day, She has been on a well-planned diet, which includes carrots, apples, mangoes, oats, pure honey, boiled yam, and contomere stew, grouper, grilled, and coconut oil and brown rice. Amma has also been drinking a lot of milk and tons of water. A. Which literary device is used in the following sentence? She is a real horse in any race in which she competes. For how many years has Amma been a professional athlete? Is the use of the word career in the second paragraph of the preamble correct? If not, what should it be? How many nutrients or nutrition groups can be identified in Amma's preparatory meals? Don't start now. I can see you are in a hurry. E. What number does the Roman numeral XL represent? How many centimeters would Amma cover if she were to run 3/4 or 3/4 of the total distance of the relay XL? Note, 1 kilometer is equal to 100,000 centimeters. This is the brainiest task of the day. Students, are you ready? Yes. Viewers, I hope you're ready, because these students are more than willing to take this challenge on. So students, you may begin work now. Well, students, you have 1 minute more. You have 60 seconds to complete this task. Stop work. All pens down. And I need you to put your answers, all the answer sheets that you would like to submit together to Elvis and then to Amma Owusua. And let me have it here. This is your final answer sheet? One sheet. Brilliant. I need your final answer sheet, Corpus Christi. It can be 2. If you want to submit 2, it's fine.
What if like some of the answers are there and then like
Well, that is your choice. You need to make a decision.
just send it through.
Thank you very much, Corpus Christi. So these are the final answers for round 3 from Silicon Valley and from Corpus Christi. When we come back, we will find out which of these students have answered these questions, very simple questions, very correctly, and which of them decided to throw caution to the wind and decide on whatever they wanted to do. We'll be finding out all of that right after this. Wow. Wow. Very, very intense. But now let's find out what the students have actually written on their answer sheets. We'd like to call on Amawusu representing Silicon Valley and Elvis representing Corpus Christi to come and show all of us in the studio here what they worked on for their brainiest task. Okay, so the boards are yours. Gentleman, lady, let's go. You may take your seats as well. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Well, as you can see, the answers here very well displayed on the board. Let me just go through the answers for the benefit of those of you at home. So the question, preamble. Use the following preamble as a premise to answer the question which follows it. Amma has always loved to run. She is a real horse in any race in which she competes. Next week, Amma will be running the longest athletic relay of her quarter of a 5-decade-long career. The race has been dubbed the Relay XL and is 10 kilometers long. In preparation for the big day, she has been on a well-planned diet, which includes carrots, apples, mangoes, oats, pure honey, boiled yam and contemporary stew, grouper grilled with coconut oil and brown rice. Amma has also been drinking a lot of milk and tons of water. The first question was, which literary device is used in the following sentence? She is a real horse in any race in which she competes. The answer is metaphor. And as we can see, both teams had that correct. For how many years has Amma been a professional athlete? The correct answer is 12 and a half years. And it looks like Silicon Valley had that correct and actually has shown a bit of working as well. Unfortunately, Corpus Christi did not get that correct because their final answer was 50. C is the use of the word career, and it was spelled in, as you could see on your screen, C-A-R-R-I-E-R, actually, C-A-R-R-I-E-R, in the second paragraph of the preamble. The question was whether it was correct or not, and what should it actually be. The correct answer was it is incorrect, and the correct spelling is C-A-R-E-E-R, and that was supposed to be the correct spelling. As we can see here, it is indeed stated by Silicon Valley. It is wrong. It's supposed to be C-A-R-E-E-R. And Corpus Christi also had that correct. The next question, how many nutrients or nutrition groups can be identified in Amma's preparatory meals? We have carbohydrates, protein, fats and oils, minerals, vitamins, and fiber. Silicon Valley, vitamins, carbohydrates, we have fats and oils, mineral salts, and protein. Do you have some more in the back? And they include water as well, 6 nutrients. Corpus Christi has 4 nutrients, fats and oils, carbohydrates, proteins, and vitamins. Please put your hands together for both teams. What number does the Roman numeral XL represent? The correct answer is 40. Corpus Christi has 11, and Silicon Valley has a weird number, which I believe is 40. Very weird. Very weird the way you write your 4. Well, they have 40. Let's put your hands together for them. How many centimeters would Amma cover if she were to run 3/4 or 3/4 of the total distance of the Relay XL? The answer is 750,000 centimeters. Now note, it is 1 kilometer is to 100 centimeters. And the final answer, Amma will indeed or would indeed cover 750 kilometers. Same we have here for Corpus Christi. Looks like these students really came prepared indeed. And so viewers, when we return, we shall find out what the final scores will be after round 3. Very competitive, very, very, very competitive, very exciting times. But when we return, we shall find out which school will make it to the next round and which school will be waving goodbye to the contest. This is Best Brain on Citi TV, where knowledge lives. What a brilliant competition today's contest has been. Two equally competing teams coming against each other, and every one of them showing what they've got. But now it's time for us to find out who took which points after round 3. Corpus Christi came through with 7/10, and Silicon Valley came through with 10/10. Congratulations to you, Silicon Valley, and congratulations to you as well, Corpus Christi. And now let's find out the final score. Corpus Christi, at the end of 3 rounds of competition, came through with 65 points. But the winners of today, Silicon Valley, came through with 84 points. A huge congratulations to you, Silicon Valley. You have made it to the next round. Congratulations also to you, Corpus Christi. It was a very good competition, I must say, and we are truly, truly proud of you. Thank you so much for being a part of this contest, and we hope to see you soon, hopefully in the second season. All the very best to you. Well, viewers, that is all time will allow us for today's show. It's been a healthy contest between these two schools, but who else will be joining us in the studios in the next edition? It will be exciting as always, but this continues to be Citi TV, this continues to be the best brain, and this is where knowledge lives.